Sup everybody? Hope all y'all are doing undeniably fan-frickin-tastic out there. It's Monday, and you know what that means. It's vlog day once again, and right on schedule, the trainer showed up as soon as I pressed record. Oh boy. But anyway, folks, hope you all had a good week. Hope you folks out there enjoyed this past week of SSP content. So I had every intention of going live yesterday. But I wouldn't have had the time to do it. So I'm thinking about rescheduling my live stream to next Sunday instead. Alright. This coming Sunday. Alright. Might go live about 5 o'clock. Yeah. We're going to attempt to go live at 5 o'clock this coming Sunday. Alright. But, yeah, so yesterday was kind of like just wild for both Queen Enterprises and myself. This whole weekend in general, by that fact. But anyway, Friday I go out of town to help my mom out at an auction. And Queen Enterprises, she shows up and she helps us out a little bit. Then we come back home, but Saturday rolls around and then we end up heading back up to Denver, North Carolina again for another show of Wrestling Evolution. Alright, did not stay overnight this time. But yeah, so didn't get back home till about 1 in the morning, I don't think. But then of course Sunday had to wake up super early because my church was doing breakfast that morning. And yeah, so we went to church and there was a whole business meeting after the service, so we all had to stick around a little bit longer. And Queen and I, we really didn't get back home until about like 1:30, but we had to get up again at almost 3 o'clock just to get ready to go out of town for a church convention kind of thing. So yeah. Ooh. Pretty dang busy this past weekend. So thankfully, being a Monday, this is our chance to actually somewhat relax. Maybe after Queen does her live stream. She said that this is her, I think Queen Enterprise said this was like her 9th year of being a K-pop fan. And K-pop is something that really means a lot to Queen Enterprises. So if she feels like going live today, I'm not going to stop her. Alright? Heck, I'm not going to stop her at any live stream anyway. That's not my thing. So once she goes live, I might pop in for hers. Alright? Depending on how she wants to set it up. Alright. So, yeah, other than that, this past week of content, had to kind of like move some stuff around because, as I was editing the Jamal match to get ready for SSP purposes, I encountered what did I call it? I always call it an editing malfunction while I was getting ready to upload it. So I had to switch the scheduling from Wish for Granted to Tuesday and my match to Wednesday. That's why I had it uploaded in that order. But y'all, this week has been so busy, I forgot to set my OSG to a premiere. It's little things like that that like slip through my fingers, okay? But thankfully this is a week off and I am going to try to come back to reactions. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. No, I am not the Carolinas champion anymore. Of course, yes, I lost the championship in my first defense, right back to Jamal the Titan. Can't even ask for a rematch now because that was my rematch. The whole thing with Grant, yeah, that was my rematch. And maybe just in SelfStandard story, Jamal the Titan is just unbeatable. Same thing with Chris Vallow. Of course, I've been able to beat Ace Harris before. Of course, I've been able to beat Mickey Fulp before. But, like, out of everybody that I've been facing multiple times, maybe Jamal the Titan is unbeatable. At least from SelfStandard, anyway. But look, now, this coming Friday, Jamal defends the Carolinas Championship against the Dante Khalifa. For those of you that don't know him, Dante really puts some stank on the word the. And every time he has a match, everybody's chanting the. Man, I wish I could link y'all to his theme song, but I don't even know the name of it right off the top of my head. But even when I listen to his theme song, I replace the beat with the word the. The. But yeah, it was after my match with Jamal that the Dante Khalifa was the one that ran out there and fought Jamal back out of the ring. So, Dante, thank you for that, I guess. So, Dante, whenever you go to face Jamal, put the stank on him. And what that means is, Dante has a t-shirt. On the front it says, the Dante Khalifa, but on the back of it, it says, put some stank on it. Alright. But, yeah, I don't have any uploads to go for this week, but I am going to try to make a comeback for the reaction channel if I can. But, y'all, this was something else I wanted to talk about. When I say that this has been bounce back season, I really didn't know. I really didn't know how serious that phrase could have been for this year. Alright, so first of all, being 2025, the whole year, I'm supposed to be proud and excited that 2025 is 10 years removed from SSP's birth year of 2015. Okay? So this year we already celebrated the Decade Day, and even just on the Decade Day itself, we went back and we looked at other glorious moments from the past decade. But man, I have been witnessing experiences this year that has truly been a highlight reel of memories. Alright, not just past memories, but current events that has been reminding me of what used to be. Okay? For example, me winning, despite it being a very, very small reign, my second reign of the Carolinas Championship was reminding me of the very first one I had back in 2021. When I went back to Denver back in 2019, when I went back to Denver last month in July, I was there with one of my friends, Phoebe. Alright, and Phoebe is somebody that I used to work for back in 2019 when she had a whole vintage treasure trinket kind of shop open. And now all of her stuff is online, but that doesn't matter. 2019, I was helping her and her husband out, moving some furniture and other things, and just helping around the shop and helping her family out with other side gig jobs, you know, helping her dad out with trying to help get a house fixed up and ready to sell, stuff like that. So, being able to hang out with Phoebe and folks again, definitely a callback to 2019, because when COVID happened, we kind of had to like part separate ways, and we just wasn't really talking to each other that much. But man, the fact that I've been able to get in contact with like some past folk here on SSP just to talk about that documentary, man, just a lot of memories have been coming back to me this year. Heck, I am very tempted to even go ahead back to doing a game of Cards Against Humanity again for my Discord. So now I have to address the good with the bad though, because not only has this been bounce back season for all those good things, yeah, some dirty laundry has come back up, and I need to address that. It seems to me that it seems to me that somehow this year I forgot who I was, and it's really been kind of clear to me with that. All right. I know lately I've kind of been getting a little bit grumpy. I've been getting significantly grumpy these past few weeks. And can I justify it? No, I can't. I seem to forget that I am James SelfStandard. And I keep forgetting what SelfStandard is supposed to be. So hypothetically speaking, let's strip away the spotlight as if it was never there to begin with. Let's strip away the delusions of grandeur as if they were never there. Who would I be without wrestling? Who would I be without the pursuit of being a YouTuber? Would I still like telling jokes? Yeah, probably. I mean, I know I would still be a wrestling fan because, heck, yes, I would still be a wrestling fan even if I wasn't a wrestler. And I keep telling myself that if I never get booked again, I may end up losing my love for wrestling in general. And if that happens, I'm betraying myself and I'm betraying literally my entire life. That would be very petty of me just to give up on wrestling if I never get to wrestle again. Look, I know green is one of my favorite colors, but I cannot wrestle with the feeling of envy, minding my own business, trying to watch Raw or SmackDown and saying, that could have been me. I could have been in that ring. But follow it up with the list of 100 excuses. Maybe I'll be petty enough just to walk away from independent wrestling. Maybe that's a thing. But look, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. The point is, would I still be comfortable being James Ramsey if SelfStandard was never a thing? And I wish I had an answer to that question. I wish I did. But, sorry, hopefully that's a question I can answer later on this year, but that's something I gotta, how do I put this? Mentally prepare for, I guess. I think I need to eventually grow up and get to a point to accept that fame doesn't exist for me. Major fame doesn't exist for James Ramsey. Clout doesn't exist for James Ramsey. And you know what? It stings to say that. It stings to say that. It really does. But look, again, hypothetically speaking, stripping away the spotlight, stripping away wrestling, as if it was never there to begin with. And when I say strip away wrestling, I mean strip away the pursuit of wanting to be a wrestler. Of course, yes, I would still love wrestling. Of course, yes, I would still be a fan of D6, probably, because that's the one that got me into YouTube to begin with. Because somebody showed him to me back when I was in high school. I would still love drawing, because like I've been drawing since I was a toddler. Even in high school, I used to collect all my drawings in a sketchbook, and then still try to show that off a little bit. I would still want my jokes. I would still like making people happy. With or without a camera, I like making people happy. I like making people smile. The only difference is I tried running to YouTube. I tried running to a camera because nobody was there for me in person. But somehow along the way, I still found a way to get entitled. Just because Dante had the fame. Just because Tyrone had the fame. Just because Bruce Stropomov had the fame. That did not mean that I was qualified for the same treatment that they got. It doesn't mean that I was qualified for the same attention that they were getting. I may never get the proper attention that I'm begging for. I could be down on my knees praying to the good Lord above, begging him for a fraction of the attention that they get. But it might never come. It might never come. I don't care how much I try to put forth here on SSP. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And who the hell am I to try and act entitled? Who am I? You think I'm the only small YouTuber? No. I'm pretty sure there's a whole other group of YouTubers out there begging for their own clout, just like me. But what makes me so special? Huh? I could sit here and list all of my pros and my cons. But the fact of the matter is, that's not enough. That's not enough. I cannot stand here and continue to wish to be someone else. Because if I do, I'm betraying the SelfStandard code. The SelfStandard name predates SSP. The SelfStandard name predates YouTube. I know it predates wrestling long before that. Me being SelfStandard wasn't created to... When I created the SelfStandard character, SelfStandard wasn't created to be a WWE wrestler. SelfStandard wasn't created to be an independent pro wrestling star. SelfStandard wasn't created to be a major YouTube player here on SSP. SelfStandard wasn't created to make mashups and YouTube hoops on a channel that would eventually fizzle out into a part-time basis. SelfStandard was created for a moment, for one video, for a summer to be with my brother and, at the time, my best friend. SelfStandard was created to remind me to be myself. And yeah, looking back at that backyard wrestling video, man, looking back at that backyard wrestling video, I said, I don't change for you, I don't change for nobody. But, praise God, yes, I've been changing for the Lord. SelfStandard has been changing ever since 2012, and somewhere along the way, I forgot the meaning. I forgot the meaning. And that's on me. That's on me. I apologize. To myself. But for me to stand here and act entitled, saying that I deserve Dante's attention, that I deserve Tyrone to make a reaction video for me, that tells me that that tells me that I deserve to be somebody else that I'm not right now. If I never get back, if I never get to 1,000 subs, if I heck, if I can't even get back to 600 subs because I've been frozen here at 598 for a while, and so what? So what? Does it take away my imagination? No. Does it hinder my creative flow? No, but I'll admit, as of late, yeah, it kind of has. I kind of been in my own head as of late, and yeah, I keep asking myself, why am I making this? Nobody's watching it. Why have I been wasting almost 3 years for this Olivia Cochran story just for nobody to tune in? Let me peel back the curtain a little bit. All right, just a tad bit for a shoot. Okay, this whole Olivia Cochran situation, it has been fun volunteer work for everybody involved. All right, and the actress that I have playing Olivia right now, she's not into YouTube. She's not into wrestling. Heck, she's not even a WWE fan. But sometimes I see her show up at APW and she sits in the crowd. This is fun for her. Okay, this is fun for her. And now I gotta close the curtain right back now. Okay, that's all I can say for the Olivia story for this point. But where did it stop being fun for me? Where? It stops being fun when I start feeling entitled. It stops being fun when I start being entitled. So if I really want SSP to matter, I gotta get out of my own way. If I really want to matter, I need to get out of my own way. I don't know what this means for the future of SSP, and I don't know what the future holds for just me in general, but just pray for me, okay? That's all I can ask for. Pray for me and some of your good vibes, and I gotta see where this goes. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up again. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah. Make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year round. Booyah. I'm out. Love you all. Here comes my hug of appreciation. Bye.